We're live.
Make sure to stream chat so I can see what's going on.
Right. Got you.
I guess I should ask this while we're live, like after we do our little, hey chat. Hope you guys are doing good.
Can you see chat?
Welcome. I can't see chat. Yeah.
Okay.
But I should have asked you this before, but it's not really that big of a deal to ask now. Did you put up the membership community tab, like voting thing?
Yeah, like yesterday.
Yeah, and then my follow-up question was going to be, have all like 73 people voted already?
49.
49.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I wanted to wait until more people got in here, but like, all right, members, honored ones, and I say that phrase, that name, with a little bit more gravitas because of today's episode, and honestly, the vibes. It's a religious event for us, right?
I understand.
Guys, if you have not voted on the community tab, book club poll, please do that. I just want to give a little status update after 24 hours, just because we're over the 50% mark on people who have voted. And I want to take a minute and just sort of reflect on these standings, right? Let me send you a screenshot of where we're at right now so you can follow along, BR. But needless to say, it has... I simply don't understand what's going on, right?
I don't know. Let me see. Slam dunk and Eden Zero, huh?
It's just Eden Zero last poll did the most dull, underwhelming numbers imaginable, and yet here it is, damn near first place,
fighting for number one, bro. It's fighting for number one. It's slam dunk Eden Zero. Now the thing that's interesting, right, is because of how like little people can vote. If there's a battalion, even Blame could come in first. Like, it's kind of crazy to think that like if there is a Blame wave, any of these can win, right? And we said this time we weren't like we did not look like absolute idiots, because we did say we think Slam Dunk will be victorious, and it's at least holding steady to like pulling even at number one. But damn, bro, I did not expect. I'm not gonna lie to you. Doro over Noragami, just based on Noragami's last performance, not expected.
It is not crazy expected. What's been going on with Noragami. I simply don't know what's going on. It won second place against Monster last time, and I have to wonder, like, what on this list would need to be removed? Like what's taking Noragami's votes, right? Like, is it Dorohedoro? Is it Blame? Like what?
You gotta consider the demographic change, bro. Right? These are members. These are honored ones. They may simply have better taste. You know what I mean? Like than the general public. No. Chat, don't ever tell them I said this, right? just wink, nudge, nudge. Obviously, this is gonna go public, so sorry, guys. But chat, don't tell them I said that. Anyways, I will say it's very interesting. I am very, very curious as to like what is going down here. I honestly don't care if Slam Dunk or Eden Zero win. I think the only one I don't care to read is Noragami, actually, which is very funny.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, somebody else voted in the time we've been doing this intro. So now Slam Dunk is 2% in the lead above Eden Zero at 34%, which, I don't know if I'm rooting for anything in particular. Like, I'm rooting for Noragami for personal reasons, obviously, but I don't know if, because it's not that I was, how do I say this nicely? I was not jumping for joy when I saw Eden Zero taking the lead like it was, right? Nothing against Eden Zero. I'd gladly read it. I read Fairy Tail. I heard Eden's is his best work. I obviously would have done it, right? Just not even like without complaints either, right? I am just like perplexed, curious, inquisitive.
Yeah.
Y'all should read JJK for real. Yeah, I heard it's good.
Yeah, bro. I might check it out. I might check out the manga. Like, so far I'm just anime only with it, and I don't know, man. I'm just really enjoying my time like with Mappa. But yeah, I mean, speaking of which, right? Let's talk about today's episode. An episode that I thought was going to be more like unanimously regarded as like peak perfect, the
Yeah.
best one of the season thus far, which granted is only 4 episodes in, but the best one of the season so far. And I don't know, like it's not like I've been seeing negative opinions on the whole, but I have been seeing a lot more negative opinions on this particular episode, specifically the depiction of Gojo's like honored one moment.
Yeah.
More than like I have seen complaints, more than the general like season 2 looks bad complaints otherwise. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But yeah.
I've heard. Okay, so chat a little context here. I was on our friend No Operators stream for the where Jesus Christ, I can't speak. So I was on No Op stream earlier today, and one of the things I noticed while reading the chat, it's not an insignificant amount of people not liking this episode. it is a
Yeah.
it is a oh my god, I can't ignore it type of number, right? We're talking like firmly double digit amounts of people like not liking this, and I want to quickly speculate as to why, right?
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to jump in as soon
Okay.
as the siren passes by.
100%. Yeah. So I guess I'll speculate first, since Streams lost his opportunity. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. My guess is that it's because like such an iconic moment wasn't done 1-to-1. Like if I had to guess, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
my theory was that people, I think it was Fake Weep who said it best. It was like people were expecting a 12 out of 10 and got a 9. So I guess it was disappointing by comparison. Um, which look, I was expecting a 10 and I got a 10, so maybe that's why I'm a little bit more upbeat. I don't know about you.
yeah, that's kind of why I'm
Yeah.
confused because I'm like, I feel like I expected a lot, but I got a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like so I get it, right? So I get the when you compare frame to frame, which I know a lot of people not that people don't get. I'm not gonna talk it down, right, to a lot of people because I don't think you have to just blindly like everything that the adaptation is doing. I understand if there are some differences if you like the manga more, but I do feel like a lot of people get caught up in, oh my god, this individual pose is worse than the manga, which yeah, I'll grant you that for sure, right? But it's like, well, okay, fine, right? Maybe the direct frame to frame comparison does not give you that ethereal I'm above everything feeling that the manga page does, but it's like, but what about the music? What about the voice acting, right? What about like the lighting? What about all these things that the anime can do that the manga didn't or couldn't? That like to me, I'm like, sure, right? The literal image to image comparison, the manga has it hands down, but the manga don't got fucking voice acting. The manga definitely does not have like OSTs that are going really hard with it. It
Definitely
does not
doesn't
have
have the
like the god
animation.
ray
Yeah.
lighting. It doesn't
Yes.
have animation, doesn't have the movement. It's like I think they did a really good job of making Gojo come off very ethereal. And I saw a comment that kind of made me wonder, like, oh, maybe I always hate to say people's expectations are wrong, right? Because I think you can get into a slippery slope with that. But I'm like, I think people kind of went into this moment with a different expectation than what Gege meant. Because like someone was like, yeah, the anime made it come off like very ethereal, very godlike, but it's like the manga was crazier and better. And I'm like, yeah, but like Gojo calls himself the
The
honored
honor.
one and compares himself to Buddha. Like, if
Yeah.
anything, is the more proper sort of like if any vibe is supposed to be conveyed, it's definitely an ethereal, godlike,
Yeah.
I'm above everything else
Like
type of vibe. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like for me it was like, yeah, why would he be like Gojo being manic was I think right before he was fully enveloped in his awakening. And when he was like finally above that threshold, like right as he was going to hit purple, that's like he reached a state of what nirvana almost, right? He had
Yeah, he's enlightened.
yeah, like why would he be like,
Um,
"Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," you know? It's like I get
yeah,
it, bro. Like cuz I think a really good a parallel is actually his domain. So when people as you saw like in like season 1 where Chogo got hit with infinite void, right? He just like it's
mhm.
not like Gojo was like, "Oh, what is going on?" Like he wasn't having a meltdown, right? He
Mm.
was like, I can hear and see everything, but I can't do anything, right? And
Yeah,
for Gojo, it's just that, but like the last part is removed.
yeah. I so it's like this, right? I get it, like, because the manic part, like, where he's like, it's like, yeah, that's right. He's like, maybe you're right. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, you're totally right. Whatever, right? Like, to me, they captured the manic energy there. But you're right, he does almost immediately kind of like mellow out. It was like, oh shit, oh wow, I'm different. Like, oh, you're not. I'm not just different than you. I'm different from everybody. Like, I'm literally the honored one. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
because of how renowned or like how popular that phrase is, like within the JJK community, people don't really.
It's the name of our
Sometimes we forget
podcast,
the
bro.
context. Name of our podcast, right? People sometimes forget how crazy of a thing that is to say, right? Like, I'm better than you and everybody else on the planet, right? Not in a like in like a
Like a matter of
oh
fact,
I'm
cause,
like in like a oh okay, I'm the strongest.
mm-hmm.
Period. You're
Like,
not like me for real.
like I remember the first time
No harm, bro. I don't hate you. I'm
I'm
literally
better.
above all of it.
I'm better.
Yeah.
I'm smarter. I'm stronger. But like, it reminded me of my first time reading the "In All the Heavens and the Earth, I Alone Am the Honored One" moment when I in the manga, and my first thought was like, I genuinely believe as part of Gojo's enlightenment, right? That he like scanned the entire planet and realized like objectively he was on top. He's like, yeah, no, it is just me, right? Like it is a matter of fact that I am here. I have like empirical proof that I am alone at the top, and so it felt like this like anointment of a new god.
Yeah. I mean, I basically agree. To me, it just like, I get it. It really comes off as like the ethereal, like, listen, this hurt me because I really like Toji, right? I like Toji, so seeing Toji get done dirty kind of hurt, right? Like, it Mappa has this very interesting, very painful talent, right? To make me as a manga reader know what's gonna happen, but wish deep down that it wouldn't happen. And I was like, Toji, please run, bro. Please listen, bro. Lock in with me. You don't want to fight this guy, bro. You got
the money's not
your
worth it.
your 3-0, bro. You got your 30 million plus a bonus. I'm literally begging you to run right now, bro. Please, bro. Megami needs a father. Please, but Megami needs a father. He needs a father figure, bro. He needs a father
it wasn't
figure.
gonna be
Get out of
Toji
there.
even if he survived. Let's be real.
Yeah, listen, bro.
Look,
I was just throwing out options, bro. I just needed him to
yeah.
run, and it was just like, oh. But the thing is like, Gojo is literally just chilling, just floating around, dodging the inverted spear of heaven chain combo. It's like, yeah, no, he really doesn't like this. Really isn't a problem. This really isn't a sweat. This really isn't an issue.
It's like, yeah, bro, you die. Like, look, the most aged like wine moment in all of JJK, especially hidden inventory, is when Gojo says you lost because, and then he just keeps talking, and Toji and I guess the reader like also clock. Wait, what do you mean lost? Right? Like the fight's going to happen. What are you talking about? And then you like see the fight unfold, and you're like, yeah, no, like go like
you lost
yeah,
the mummy. You didn't cut off my head.
Literally,
Gojo was right.
yeah,
that was correct.
Like Toji was already dead, right? Like he was just waiting for the manga to like catch up with him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it was funny because like Gojo, I don't know why he like sort of hunted Toji down for this. I think we could speculate about that like however long, right? But it's almost as if he wanted to show off to him.
I mean, he says it's not to Gojo. It's like beating Gojo, right?
No, I mean Gojo to Toji, right? Like why did Gojo
okay.
right? Like after healing,
back, like instead of being mad.
Yeah, or even
he's not mad, right?
Yeah, he's not. That's what I'm saying.
I think,
yeah, like he just wanted to flex on Toji. Like let's.
To me, it comes off as like, it's like cleanup. You know what I mean? It's like wrapping up the thing. It's like, it's not so much that because Gojo's not mad. I don't feel vengeful towards anyone. You know, he's not getting revenge for Rico. It seems like it's a matter of it's like the same reason he goes to get Rico's body, right? It's what he should do.
Right. Oh, like he's just kind of completing the mission because it's the only thing he knows.
It's completing the mission. It's like follow. He's going through the motions, right? He's like, oh yeah, I should go kill Toji. I should go grab Rico's body, right? None of that really matters in the grand scheme of things, and it sure as shit does not matter to Gojo, right? But it's how he should proceed, so he does kind of thing. And that's why when Ghetto pops up and he asks him like, "Should we kill him?" And he's like, because for Gojo, he doesn't need a reason, right? Killing Toji was not like this thing he needed a reason for, right? He's like, I mean, I guess I should kill him, right? I guess I shouldn't let him interfere with us anymore or whatever. Cool, I'll kill him. And it's like that's kind of what makes that version of Gojo so like very eerie. Because to me, that you see the like the red and blue lighting they were both in. I was like,
Oh yeah.
Ghetto could have let this. He could have let him. He could have let him turn out like Sukuna. But right then and there, the wrong. Yeah, you don't need a reason. You don't need a reason to do anything with your power, right? You just do it. Listen, bro. I'm gonna be real. When Gojo's like, "Do we need a reason?" I'm like, Sukuna doesn't need a reason.
Yeah.
Right. That's why Sukuna does what he does. I'm like, you were really dancing on that line of like,
no, I think
I'm the strongest, but like, does me being the strongest give me the right to do anything and everything I want?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like when Gojo like finally awakened, right? Like I'm talking like floating in the air, making the proclamation, and like being an awakened Six Eyes user. I think that was probably the closest he got to that Sukuna mindset than he did in the entire series.
Yeah.
Because he disregarded everything, including his own pride, right? He didn't go hunt Toji down. He didn't give a shit about Rico. Like let's not even that, right? But like even for everything that Toji did to him personally the last episode, which was a lot, right? And it reminds me of that quote that Mahito said to Nanami when he first unleashes the main. He was like, "The only thing I feel is like I'm grateful to you," right? And you almost feel like Gojo has this sense of gratitude because like I
can see now.
Yeah, I can see now. And this actually this reminds me of a conversation I had a while back where there's this like you know the famous like not even famous, but like there's this conversation surrounding Gojo's like role. Did he have a choice in being Gojo, right? Like was he just like a kid with the six eyes and limitless who had like his destiny mapped out, or what did he like being quote unquote the chosen one, right? And there's this sort of like, does he want a normal life? Does he like even like Jujutsu? Like blah blah blah. And I think for him that answer was settled when he awakened, right? For him it was like, I fuck with this. Like this is just truly making me happy, right? I'm under no obligation to anyone. In fact, I can pretty much stop anyone who has a problem with it, right? So everything I do from here on out is just fully my choice and my decision.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, like I definitely think it's like I was gonna say something crazy. Let me figure out a way to rephrase that.
Spoilers.
I definitely think it's like it is a temporary sort of state for Gojo though. Like I don't think Gojo feels like that now.
No.
And I don't think he felt like that maybe a couple of hours after that. I think it's a very much like
only for those
said,
like couple minutes. Yeah,
he's high, like he's literally high on his own power.
Yeah,
right. It's like it is being flooded with all these new possibilities and like a whole not different power system, but like positive energy is being the complete antithesis of cursed energy, and Gojo just tapping into that one like after getting stabbed is like, oh, okay. Got it. Like, oh, that has to feel different. And I do think that in that moment, it's more so than appreciate, because to me, Gojo's like in that moment he felt at least above all of that like petty. Oh, I do this because I hate you. I do this for revenge. It's just like I'm just doing it, right? It's just getting done. But it is very interesting to see that moment from him. I liked it a lot. I think the anime did it really well. It didn't completely just recreate the manga panels, but the music and the angelic vibes I think did quite a bit to really hammer home. Oh yeah. This guy, they're not trying to be very subtle with it, right? They're making it very clear how you're supposed to perceive Gojo.
100%, yeah. I think Gojo's not being very subtle about it. He's just like, yeah, no, bro, I am that guy.
Yeah. The purple they did too. Liv made a pretty funny comment after watching the episode, and she was just basically like, I'm so glad they didn't use rave music for this one.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine they bring out the season 1
I
OST
forgot that
as
they
he's
did
just
that
like
for
all
Purple, bro.
angelic and he just shoots out? So weird. Such a weird choice. Such a weird choice.
Like, don't get me wrong,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
it was pretty hype. Maybe because the moment wasn't like as profound. That was like a casual Purple, right? Not so much a special Purple. So maybe that's the difference. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's not the worst decision in the world, but it is weird. I will say that. But yeah,
yeah, Sleeping Danger. Thank you for the 14. Would Toji with prep time beat Awakened Gojo? No.
no.
Um, where do you fall on the Toji couldn't beat pre-awakened Gojo if he was fresh spectrum?
I think it's ambiguous, and I think it's kind of weird. I'll just lay out things that we know are true,
Okay.
right? Um, Toji's rusty when he goes to fight Gojo, like the first time. At bare minimum, he says as much. We know that like Toji was at his strongest when he was like considered Toji Zenin, right? That's
Mhm.
stated in like one of those chapter extra things. It's like, yeah, was Gojo weaker? Sure,
Mm.
right? And obviously, like Toji says, yeah, I need to do this. Toji also, like in the same conversation, when asked, like, could you? He's like, not even you, and he's like, I don't know. Good question, right? So I think it's meant to be very ambiguous. I think that like if you have Toji pull up on Gojo, right, and Gojo's rested and refreshed, I personally still think um he wins. I just don't think. I think the fight becomes a lot more drawn out and dangerous for him than he would ever like. Because if for Toji, right? If the options are tire Gojo out and make it easier for yourself, or don't and potentially like take severe damage before going to fight Ghetto, why would you not tire him out? Is kind of my thing. I know a lot of people look at it as like an absolute objective necessity. I don't think
Uh,
I don't think it's framed that way, or at least I think there's context surrounding that. And it's like, yeah, Gojo's weaker, so is Toji. It's kind of whatever.
I mean,
So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
the way I always thought about it was like, uh, if Toji after seeing Gojo awakened was like, let's assume he shook off a bulk of the rust, right, just to be charitable, because he already fought Gojo like the previous episode slash chapter, and he was like all the same gear, um, and the only exception being that the Gojo in front of him is just like Teen Gojo with like normal sleep or whatever. um, I think he would still win only because when he came face to face with an awakened Gojo and not knowing about purple, by the way, like that's very important. He knew the entirety of Gojo's arsenal was like neutral, red, and blue, and he was like, "Nah, I got this. Whatever he throws at me, I can deal with it." Right? Like he was fully
Mhm,
confident that even after Gojo awakened reverse curse technique, that he would be fine. Right? So
mhm.
it stands to reason for me that like a even a fresh like teen Gojo would be harder work, but still relatively easy compared to even if we just said Gojo capped out at red, I think that's like a significant like level of difficulty above.
It yeah, it's hard to say. So like, I understand why people think Gojo would win, right? Like, obviously, there's a lot of stuff that can imply that. The thing for me is just like it's so hard to think that Blue could do anything to Toji.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
that's
Like,
what I'm saying. Yeah, and even red didn't
yeah,
do like a crazy amount. And sure, you could say he
yeah.
bunted it with the inverted spear of heaven, but it's like,
He would just do that.
yeah,
That would be the answer.
that's yeah,
Like he would just repeat the
yeah.
process. You
But
know what I
he'd
mean?
have an easier time with blue.
Mhm.
It's like, and especially because
um,
like that's Gojo's main move or slash only big move as a teenager. It's like, oh my god, Blue, what am I gonna
yeah,
do? Like,
yeah. It's Blue. That's the only like really attacking option he has. It's Blue. Oh, okay. Let me Blue. Okay. Let me. Sorry, one more time. Blue. It's like, all right, bro. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, 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 yeah. You attract things. Cool. Fine. Whatever.
mm,
I definitely think it'd be more pitch battle, and I understand a lot of what Toji's doing is like a very cautious thing because I just use this for my like the argument that Toji is very consistently portrayed as like cautious to the point of being like overly so, not in a negative way for him, but like cautious unnecessarily, right?
mm,
He does not kill Ghetto because he does not know what happens to the cursed spirits, right?
He doesn't
But
take
here's the thing.
unnecessary risk.
If Ghetto had a cursed spirit that could kill him, right? Ghetto would have brought out a cursed spirit that could kill him,
Yeah.
right? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like Toji realistically had nothing to worry about there, but it's like it is an added risk to something that I don't need, right? I don't need to kill him. It's not necessary for my mission, right? So why would I? And it's like that kind of attitude and like approach to fighting sorcerers is exactly why I think him saying, "Oh yeah, I need to tire Gojo out," does not, especially when we have, once again, extra context, like, "Oh, I don't know if I could beat him just pulling up on him," right? Blah, 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 blah. I think it just provides extra context to really imply that, like, yeah, can Toji beat an awakened Gojo? Hell no, right? I'll tell you that for free.
Absolutely not.
Not happening. There aren't many characters that you can list that can, to be completely honest with you. However, can he beat an unawakened fresh Gojo? I would say so.
Yeah.
Personally,
it would just take out a lot more from him than I think he'd be willing to give. That's really it. But Sleeping Danger, thank you for the 14. Manga was the best for its medium. Same for anime. Yeah, I definitely think. And okay, this is such a stupid fucking opinion. I had this thought, right? Do you think the reason JJK's anime is taken a lot more seriously, and like, obviously manga sales play a huge part of it, popularity, blah blah blah, right? That's the boring answer. Do you think a small part of it, even just like a tiny, like 1% part, right, has to do with the fact that, like, take the Dark Trio for comparison, there is a lot more at stake if JJK gets a bad anime adaptation, because Gege's art, he can draw. But let's say for Hell's Paradise's anime can afford to be worse because the art in the manga is so good. And Chainsaw Man has its own unique visual style that compensates for it, and like aids the story on a fundamental level, right? So it could also afford to take a few hits in quality. JJK does not quite have the same luxury.
So I will, obviously you said the boring answer would be manga sales, right?
Yeah.
Sure, right? So I will indulge in your hypothetical.
Even
with this,
1%.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure, right? I think if that was the case, hidden inventory in Shibuya would be able to get the Hell's Paradise treatment, because I flat out think that JJK's art during that stretch is not just like I think it's very good, right? I think it is defendably good. Like if you're like cool, right? Bet your life on being able to make a solid argument for JJK's art being good, right? If you win, we give you some money or something, right? If you lose, you die, right? I'm like, depending on how much money we're talking, get me on the stand because I can make an argument, right? Okay. Now, before that or after that, hold on now, right? We're getting a little dicey. Me personally, I think it took a little bit for Gege to develop his style to the way that he did in Shibuya and like hidden inventory, and I feel like I won't even make a claim of like, oh, it's worse. I don't like it as much after, right? After he changes his style up personally, right? But if you get me in that sweet spot, right? Basically what season 2 is going to cover, I will get up on stand like I'm goddamn Higuruma, and I'll be like, let's go. Let's argue, right? I got my suit and tie. I'm ready. So I think from an art perspective, season 2 should be the worst. If like animation wise, adaptation wise, right? Like if we're going by that metric, and season 1 should kind of look how season 2 did, because that's when Gege's art was looking the most busted.
I mean, but season 1 looked great, right? Like it had great animation.
Season 1 did look great. I agree, but what I'm saying is going by your art to animation theory, right? Okay. Season 1 should look better than season 2, and I don't think that's the case so far. Because I think the corresponding art is invert. Like I think. So the material that is covered in JJK season 1, yeah, proportionally, exactly.
Okay. You know, okay, this, because it's so stupid. The only reason I thought that was just because of the sentiment surrounding Hell's Paradise's anime. Because let's be real, you know, the manga did it better, right? Like I saw it. Yeah. The manga just flat out did Hell's Paradise better. Is that like a hot take, right?
Not a hot take.
Exactly. Chainsaw Man, we'll call that one a 50-50, which is crazy to say because like Mappa put their entire like team behind it. I
will say Chainsaw Man's animation is good. It's just not very Chainsaw Man-y. Like I needed more colors, bro. I needed more colors. Where's my
It's
green and purple blood? Like, really, I need the whole. You know how like when Kuchizane Onna like the cursed spirit like pulled up on Toji and Ghetto and like everything like kind of changed color
oh
to,
yeah.
to like it's like I need some like we're changing the color palette of the fight for a second to really show you what's going on. I need that like bombastic energy for Chainsaw Man,
You
and
basically
it's
want the
good.
Chainsaw Man colored like manga
Yes, yes,
experience.
yes,
I see
yes,
what you
yes,
mean.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
exactly. To me, it just fits what Fujimoto does so well.
Hmm.
But yeah, like Zom 100. Yes, Zom 100 is a very good anime adaptation.
You know who I think
Um,
could really who can get like who would be perfect for coloring Chainsaw Man? Fucking Gege, dude.
hmm.
Colors
You think
are
so?
yeah, I mean colors are his enemy naturally, so I think he'd have a
Uh-huh.
blast bringing that to life in Chainsaw Man if he was to color it.
Uh, I don't know, but listen,
Bro, do
it
you want
would
me
be
to
an
pull up the
interesting thought
Kashimo
experiment.
cover
I don't.
again? Like it was
No, bro. Listen, I trust me. He can put a marker right on a character and color it in. What I'm saying is,
so
does
can a
it always
kindergartner.
result in something great?
Yeah. It's just like okay.
I don't know.
You know how when you were a kid you draw the hell out of that sun in the corner?
Hmm.
Gege's cool.
Yep. I mean, yeah. Like, listen, Gege can listen.
He has the ability to draw. He he legally can color. I can't stop him.
He's also, I think, probably legally colorblind. But yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, all right. Listen. We're talking about peak Gege right here, right? We're talking about hidden inventory Shibuya Gege. Hidden inventory Shibuya Gege, I wouldn't have known he was colorblind. Like, it's funny. You look at his color pages in Shibuya, I'm like, oh, this is just a guy who colors stuff, right?
Yeah.
Bro got extra colorblind in the culling
Yeah.
games or
I,
something.
I I do not know what
Colorblind times
happened,
two.
bro. Yeah, in the culling games, he like I think he needs to go see a doctor cuz like for me
Yeah.
like I don't think I've ever like really properly explained how big an effect seeing the Kashimo cover got me cuz I was dude, you could have been like creams for $1 trillion, right? What would you say are Kashimo like the color of Kashimo's features, right? And you have to be 300% sure because if you guess wrong, you will never see a dime of this money, right?
Hmm.
And I would look at you and I would say, easy. I've never been more certain of anything in my entire life. Kashimo, blonde hair, maybe green eyes, right? And that doubt and that maybe,
Jesus.
that doubt was because when I saw Kashimo's official colors on that cover, I wasn't seeing a drop of that money. I wasn't seeing a dime, a nickel, a penny, a whatever.
Yeah, that one hurt,
Peso,
bro. That one
yeah.
brought me to my knees. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. That one brought me to my knees. That
Because
was rough.
I simply need
Because
an
you have the
explanation.
blueprint. You have the blueprint, bro.
Hmm.
Listen, you ever see? Listen, you're a fan of Tagashi,
Yeah.
right, Gege? You ever seen Killua? Bro, just
Actually, no.
take it.
White hair, like white or blonde hair. Like, okay, you know what kills me too about that? That's Kashimo's fucking vessel, right? So does that mean the vessel had these features? Like, was there just a guy in the JJK universe walking around with teal hair? Like, okay, it's fine, it's fine,
Yeah,
but it's fine.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? Kashimo. Listen, bro. Gege colored him already, bro. I know what he looks like. Fine,
Mm,
whatever. Um, I'm hoping the anime. You know how the anime like just changed Maki and Mai's hair from like black to green.
that was nice though.
I'm hoping the
Yeah.
I'm hoping the anime just says, "Nah, your hair's white." Like, nah, your hair's white. I'm just hoping the anime just says, "Sorry, Gege, we got to make an executive decision here. All right, you're not. Listen, you're the author. We appreciate you, but let us handle the color palette, okay?" Um, but yeah, it ah,
Purple lightning too on
um.
top of it. I just I
Listen, purple lightning could be cool. Like to me, you can't really mess up the color of the lightning.
but it's the
Like it could have
combination,
been
bro.
yellow. Yeah, and it is the combo. It is the combo. Like, listen, I don't want to talk about that. All right,
It's
I've already
I
hypnotized myself to
just
think that Kashimo's hair color palette looks good.
I
Right,
just
so
bro, I'm
Can't be
just
tricked anymore.
I just imagine him in motion and I lose my mind a little bit every single time, because like seeing it in a still image for like the cover of that volume is one thing, right? But
Hmm.
seeing that guy like move and talk and walk, especially when we get the Culling Games animated, I I'll just be a wreck, dude. Like I
I, you know what's funny too? I did not expect Uro to have what, pink hair.
yeah, pink hair,
Um,
pink hair.
Gege was really just he did really just grabbed him. Marcus said, "This is your hair now," and I'm like,
Mm.
"All right, bet, bet, bet,
But
bet,
like with
bet,
Uro, it was
bet, bet."
like it was passable, right? Like there's like a sort of blonde,
It's possible
plausible
because I don't care
deniability,
about
right?
her,
But
to be
like
honest.
but like with Cosmo, it's just like, bro, like, and okay, this is another small thing. When you see the original Kashimo, right?
Hmm.
If you tell me it was also teal hair, because Landa brought up a good point. She was like, there's hair dye in like modern day, right? So maybe
Hmm.
there's an explanation there for like Kashimo's vessel is like, you know, like a rave or like a wrestler person, right? Whatever. But
Hmm.
if we're talking like during his original time period, what are we doing, Gege? Like, explain yourself.
And bro, he was just born with cyan hair. Yeah.
Ugh.
Like in a different universe, right? He could have gone for like an electric blue, right? But you got to change his whole aesthetic to make it work, though. You can't just slap on electric blue hair, man. You got to put in the work to get it right, but he didn't. So I'm sad.
Yeah,
Um.
I can't believe we got so locked on this, but like, yeah, going back to the episode, um,
Okay. What do you think about Gojo? Not Gojo. Ghetto
get
versus Toji? Because
get
I
it
think they went really
hard, yeah.
ridiculously hard.
So yeah,
They did a very good job.
like I said this before, but like, dude, I was so happy. I think I preferred the version of this fight in the anime than in the manga, like fully.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I don't feel like there's an argument for the manga.
yeah, no,
Um.
like, and I'll tell you why, right? The manga, like Gege, it had a different effect in the manga, right? In the manga, it was like, oh yeah, no, Toji is just overwhelming this guy, right? It is like
Mhm.
absolutely easy work. 3 pages, we're out of here. Like time to move on to Gojo, right? But in the anime, it was like
Mhm.
it almost justified or like
It made Ghetto seem
it
stronger,
made Ghetto seem
right?
stronger. Like we are the strongest. Felt like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, no, I could see how he would think that. B,
Because
other
like,
people would treat him like yeah, you know what I mean. Like there's a certain like justification of Ghetto's role as the other strongest person besides Team Gojo, while simultaneously not taking anything away from Toji's ability to like be that guy. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, seeing all of his
I will
curses in
say
motion too is a lot cooler. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
nice reference to the Superior Tagashi work with like the spirit gun, like her spirit shooting or whatever. Like that was cool. That was nice. It was I don't know if anybody else noticed. What am I talking about? You guys are nerds. Of course, you guys noticed. The curse spirit that Ghetto brings out, like the massive one, is the same one we get to see in Volume Zero, like the movie.
Oh, I saw that on Twitter.
Um,
Yeah, somebody pointed that out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So I'm like, yeah, that was cool. I think Gege actually made like a comment. He's like, thank you to the anime staff for like giving Ghetto like better usage of curse spirit manipulation than he had in the manga. I thought that was really cool. And all in all, like it to me, it somehow made Toji, because the fight was elongated. It obviously put Ghetto in a better light, but it almost made it that much worse when Toji was just like not at all phased.
yeah.
Like bro really got eaten by a dragon, stuck his arm out of the mouth, and just shot three. First of all, shot 3 bullets, hella accurate. Like
Yeah.
they like
Bro's
bro,
dead
he
shot.
was being eaten, flying back in 3 bullets that like I'm like, hey yo, why is your aim so good? That doesn't have a scope, bro. You just that's crazy. It's actually wild.
Yeah, Toji was on like some crazy time, especially like in
Yeah.
both fights, but like I think in the Ghetto fight, you got to see him like really flex it because he can just
Mhm.
sort of come at Ghetto like however he wanted. He didn't have to go in with
Yeah.
this prolonged strategy. So like Ghetto got some sleep, during
Yeah.
however long that was. Like
Yeah. Nah.
I remember this one scene. I think it was in the last episode where Gojo was just like shown staying up at his hotel room,
Hmm.
and I was like,
Yeah.
bro, show Ghetto snoring. Show this inconsiderate
Yeah.
friend like on the bed, just being like, oh my god, bro.
Yeah, bro. It was actually kind of crazy. Then you see Kuchizane Onna like open the domain, and Toji's just looking around. He's like, huh, all right. Oh yeah, you're not really my type.
Mm.
And then just, man, the sequence of him like cutting and shattering all the knives, really cool. Like everything about Toji, I think, to be honest, animation wise, they really did their thing.
Hmm.
Um, damn, the disrespect to throw inverted spear of heaven up, unsheath his sword, slice him twice, sheath his sword, grab inverted spear of heaven, do a spin kick to the jaw. Oh, bro, I knew he did that, but damn,
Bro.
damn,
Seeing it
bro,
is
like,
something else, bro. Like I'm
uh,
telling you, like I firmly like I have this above the manga in terms of presentation. Like it is,
100%, 100%.
yeah,
And to
Mappa
be honest,
cooked, yeah.
I think the manga is really good at showing off like action at this point in the series, right?
Hmm.
Like I think it's cooking, but damn, the anime made me really, really excited, just because like these these fights are great, right? But these fights, like Gojo versus Toji Part 1 and 2, and Ghetto versus Toji, are fights that take place in the span of an individual chapter, right? Maybe one and a half. What does Mappa have planned for us when we get multi-chapter spanning fights? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When we get fights that are like 5 or 6 chapters, or like 10 to 12 chapters, like, bro, Mappa.
They're gonna have a blast, dude. I can't wait.
Bro, I'm
And
so locked in.
and the best part is we don't have to wait that much longer. Since Shibuya is starting pretty soon.
Yeah,
Um.
like it's one more episode where we're gonna see like premature death, right?
Hmm.
And then we're gonna move into like maybe one episode covering like the pre-Shibuya stuff, and then we're just in Shibuya,
Hmm.
like, and then we're just there,
Yeah.
and that's yeah.
Oh. Actually, this is a fun question. I had like a really unique answer. You know, not to stroke my own ego a little too hard, but hey, I'm gonna do that anyway.
Hmm.
Okay, so the question was, how do you think like they're going to be adapting next episode? Right? Do you want me to tell you my answer, or do you want me to like save it until you say yours? Right? So like, how are they
No, go ahead
ending?
and say
Okay.
your answer, because I don't know exactly what the
Okay.
question is asking.
So, my theory was they're going to end next episode with a Ghetto story continues in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, right? Because,
You think they're gonna like say that basically?
yeah, or they'll use the recap episodes to just recap the movie. Because the end of Gojo and Ghetto's story is JJK 0, right? That's the problem. Everything that's going to happen in canon after this moment is
Hmm.
Shibuya, right? Ghetto's not coming
Hmm.
back like ever.
Yeah, it's over for him.
Yeah.
It's over
So
for him, yeah.
there has to be some sort of
Well,
transition.
never say never.
Oh my god.
But well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll leave the door open on that
For
one.
now, right? As far as we know. So there's just no there they they would have to guide people to some sort of resolution with Ghetto, or assume in full confidence that everybody knows what happened to him, has already seen the movie, and is just watching Hidden Inventory in like a massive binge, like with season one, and then Shibuya coming up, right? So like
Yeah.
recontextualizing it in the context of like I'm watching JJK for the first time, finish the first 24 episodes of season one. Oh, season two starts. Oh, it's a flashback arc. Flashback arc is over after 5 episodes. I already know what
Hmm.
happens. I've seen the movie at some point in this watch through, right? Or I've heard about it. And then we go back into the main Shibuya timeline,
Yeah,
right? So yeah, that's kind of
for
what the
sure.
question is. Like
I
how?
think
Yeah.
I I think so. I don't think they're gonna need to do that because the 3 week gap we have is going to be like those recap like episodes. I think. So I if I remember correctly, one is going to be like the season like one or core one recap, where it's like episode 1 to 13, and then the second week is going to be picking up from that to finish the season, and then the third one is going to be volume 0. I think, right? Um, I think that's the case, at least from my understanding, for what I remember of like the announcement or whatever. I will say though, real quick, in like pretty related, I have stood to this belief for a while now.
Hmm.
But I think, like, if you were to ask me, right, JJK is not one of those manga that has like a very complex reading order. You pick up the manga and you read it, right? But I think the only deviation I would have from like the natural order of like release is like I would have someone read JJK all the way up to Hood and Inventory, or watch, right? Then watch volume 0 or read volume 0 and then move on. I don't know. it just feels right to me. Like on a first, you don't know what Ghetto's fate is, and then you get to see it. You get to see how like a decade later, right?
Wait,
Everything
so,
turned out.
but would you want them to like guide you there in the anime? Like would you want some kind of end screen that says, Ghetto's story continues in like sort of how like Marvel does their post credit scenes?
I don't really think it's necessary. It would be nice. It would be nice, like for people that are particularly unaware, but I don't think it's super necessary to be completely honest with you.
Mm.
I think a lot of people. I think the movie was ubiquitous enough amongst JJK fans for everybody who's interested in watching season 2 to have already seen, or at least know they should try to see, what's the word I'm looking for? Volume 0.
Mm.
It's kind of where I stand personally.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let me use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. Let me catch up on chat here. Let me see what you guys have been cooking. Um. I want to start from Sleeping Dangers. Oh, Sleeping Danger, thank you for the 14. Sukuna had pink hair in the Heian era, so yeah, but Sukuna's weird, man. Sukuna's just a goofy little guy, all right? Sukuna doesn't count. Also, and I think this might be slightly more important than him being goofy, he had 4 arms and like 5 faces. The pink hair was the least crazy thing about him. Um, yeah, but he took, I don't know, man. Hello, that's a little bit of a spoiler. Not gonna lie, for a second I thought Ghetto was shot energy blast from DBZ. Dude, Ghetto versus Toji was so funny because like the guy, like Ghetto, I mean, he's sort of like the king of versatility up until Yuta gets introduced. So the fact that like he has all like basically an entire unknown arsenal and Toji doesn't even sweat it, and also the fact that like Ghetto is like cold hand to hand, like in close quarters combat, and Toji still doesn't care because like obviously why would he at that point? But it's like it's so funny that like nothing about Ghetto merits any kind of concern from Toji. Mayan Toji with the blicky, I don't even know what that is. Oh, I think that refers to some kind of firearm. I got it. Toji would have been fun to see in Sakamoto days. Nerd. Like how they've shown the eyes for Gojo to signal to us when Limitless is on or off. Oh yeah, I love this Holofy Tensa Zangetsu. It is one of the coolest details to see in the anime. When he turned it off last episode, when he got through the gates of Jujutsu Tech, that was the coolest visual indicator because I think in the manga, Gege just had him draw, like Gege just drew like some lines to sort of simulate the infinity going on and off. Maybe through Yuji already had that hair, but I was thinking that was part of Kenjaku crafting a vessel in Yuji. Man, Kenjaku's like Yuji's biology is definitely a big question mark. Oh, literally, Landa. It's basically what I said. Yeah, if Toji rolled up on Ghetto on a random day, it would be Raps, and that's a little tragic. He pulled up on him to like that day and it was Raps, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is what I was saying, Sleeping Danger. In the manga, it literally feels like Ghetto versus Toji is like 2 pages. It's so much better in the anime. Let's see. We need Thousand Year Blood War to give us a 10 out of 10 because I can't wait for True Shikai and Horn of Salvation. Yes, sir. Man, speaking of Bleach really quickly, I did not hear good things about Shinji's Bankai. I'm sorry to say Can't Fear Your Own World probably did it better. Shibuya gonna have me crying tears of joy running up and down my room. Yes, sir. Joy is crazy though. I think they'll just be, regular old tears of sadness. My God. I assume next episode is gonna end with Gojo waking up. Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd be a nice transition, Sleeping Danger, because then it would sort of reestablish that like this is happening as a flashback and we are still in present day events. Oh yeah, we did skip a filler chapter. Asphera, I think that's how you say it. I don't know about chapter 63. Probably next episode. I forgot what the chapter to episode lineup is though. We gonna skip seeing the trio for the last time. I just fell to my knees, but considering season 1 ends with the trio on a shopping trip, maybe we'll see and go from there. It'd be really cool to see them pick up the scene from the end of season 1. Only, and I do mean only because the shift in animation style while it happens would be hilarious. Okay. Goofy. Sir. Oh yeah. Dude. Let's pour one out for Toji. This stream. All right. Got the Toji emote in here. So R.I.P. Um. I guess I'm not too crazy about the P. You know, just rest. I wonder what someone happens. Someone starting with a hidden inventory and 0 and then season 1 would look like. Yeah, it would be very funny to see somebody go in chronological order of like numbers, so 0, 1, and 2. Although I think the true like reading list or whatever for JJK is probably 1, 1, 2, and 0. However, there is a fun version of this, right? If you have like a new JJK like fan or somebody that you want to recommend the series to, a really really funny idea that you can use to like fuck with their interpretation of the story or just like how they consume it is have them read the flashback first or watch the flashback first at the beginning of season 2, then get them to 0, and then get them into season 1 of the main series, and then Shibuya, right? Because then it's like chronological in the show, and that would be so funny to have them think that like Ghetto was like the first major arc of the story, and have it be this like, yeah, this is the guy's like big bad, and then like Sukuna or whoever is just like part 2, and oh my god, I would love to meet a person who who watches JJK like that. That would be hysterical. Um, let's see. Ah, yes, Gojo's in chat. You love to see it. Oh yeah, and Toji's cool too. Rip that bum. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You get it, Luma. Bruce Davidson, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we lost. Not a good one. That was gonna be a crazy one. Hello, you feel me? He'd be a bullet bender for real, for real. Hisuke's arch nemesis. Bullet bender. I just like that really like made me stop. That'd be really funny. Late, but I love this episode. Only had a problem with the honored one moment. Ooh, interesting. SM. Glad you came at actually a pretty decent time, because I think we're when BR comes back from the bathroom, we're gonna get into the honored one moment, our namesake moment. You know, for all you, I don't know how early you guys were into this podcast development, but I think for the first 2 months of no, not even like the first 6 to 7 months of this podcast existing, in our banner we had the panel where Gojo's like laughing maniacally in our channel banner. So, you know, little honored ones history lesson for you that I think will be really funny. Live in his physical stats against Sakamoto would be kind of crazy. The hands would be crazy. Sakamoto days talk, creams, carry on. Look, guys, y'all can talk about Sakamoto peak all you want. I like to save up my Sakamoto days for a binge read, because I am a hero. Let's see. You see the vision. Hello, he'd fit right in. God, bro, you, agenda pushers, all of you. Actually, you know, while BR is in the bathroom, let me check in on the status of the poll, because I'm really curious where it's at right now after people voted. Okay, we got like another vote in here. So updated rankings on the poll, guys. Eden Zero fell off 2 percentage points, so now it's officially in second place, and Slam Dunk is leading. I can't believe Slam Dunk is leading, but I'm not mad at it. I've heard good things about Slam Dunk. Besides, I'm down for another sports manga, especially after Blue Lock agenda got pushed. So that's been fun. Dude, Norigami's really let me down. Second to last place. I'm gonna cry. Is BR? Yo, BR, are you back? Oh my god. Bro, I like sensed it. I was asking, and then you came back, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a jump scare.
You're welcome, bro. I had to refill up on my water.
Yeah, your 8 gallons of water. I know what you're all about,
hey,
bro.
Listen, I just like being healthy. My fault. All
right, I'm gonna tag out. You're in control of chat.
All right. Yeah, let's see. Huh. Chat, fill me in. What are we talking about? Um, nah, but let me. I don't know if Creams did this already. What like rank these like season 2 episodes for me? I'm curious what the consensus is. Like, what is your ranking? Because mine goes, and not just in animation, like the episode as a whole, I guess is how I would put it. Because mine goes episode 4, episode 3, episode 1, episode 2. That's why I do it. I imagine Toji and Sakamoto Days. Toji and Sakamoto Days is cooking. Toji would fit right in Sakamoto Days, to be honest. To be honest. Also, Sleeping Danger. I don't think Slam Dunk is 1,000 chapters. I think Slam Dunk is like 200 or something. I don't think Slam Dunk is particularly long. 4 3 2 1 3 4 2 1 4 3 1 2. Yeah, 4 3 1 2 is how I look at it. 4 3 1 2. Yeah. 3 greater than 4, 4 greater than 1, greater than 2. Okay. Got you. Now, I'm assuming. Do you think in every instance of season 2, like the anime has elevated the manga, or do you think there are some like chapters or some things that are being covered that the manga did better? Because I know some people, like we talked about this earlier in the stream. Some people think that the honorable moment was done better in the manga, and I get it. It's fair. I think Gege really cooked with that. But I don't know. The anime, the whole orchestral angelic music kind of made up for any lack of visual fidelity. I think the voice acting, like Gojo's voice actor cooked, Toji's voice actor cooked till the very end. I think they did a really good job of tying together any like chinks or flaws in the like the visual armor that like I could have seen, at least personally. Yeah. Let's see. In general, reread or rewatch, I'm always rereading. Fair enough. So like here's the thing. I agree, but like that to me, I don't know if that means it's better. I just like manga more, almost like regardless of how good it is. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I'll make it clear how much I'm in that boat. Demon Slayer, I think, is significantly better than the manga in basically every way. If I'm going to reconsume Demon Slayer for whatever reason, I'm rereading Demon Slayer, right? So I say that I'm rereading over rewatching, not as a knock to the anime, but as a a sort of a nod to how much I prefer reading manga as like a sort of like a consumption of any particular story or character or whatever. Without the narrator, the honored one moment didn't hit. I don't think the honored one moment has a narrator, if I can remember correctly. I think all of it's just Gojo.
Hey, chat. I'm back.
I could be wrong. Creams, do you remember? Does the honored one moment have a narrator in the manga?
No, I think it's just Gojo, right?
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah. All the stuff being said is being said by Gojo.
Yeah.
Now, I will grant you that we do need the narrator
for
Shibuya, for sure.
But I think PR and I have like screamed about the narrator like day in day out, but Gege is gonna do what Gege does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I didn't mean to, but I think I like channeled disappointed father in my voice.
Yeah, Gege's. I feel like you haven't quite disowned your son, but like you don't talk to him anymore, and someone just asked about him at the dinner table.
Yeah, like you know what it is. It's like I'm not necessarily ashamed of my son. I'm just not like thrilled about him, like as a person. Like I wouldn't hang out with him if he was not my son, right? Like we just different people.
We just different people for real. Oh yeah, Creams, didn't you mention being a fan of the JJK dub?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you gone back and watched season 2, like any episodes to see how they cooked on that?
No. I thought it was gonna be a simuldub, and then when it wasn't that first week, I just sort of like forgot about it until today when people started mentioning that Toji's voice actor was like a little goofy. So I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Got you. Fair enough.
Okay. So let's get into the big scene. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and all the heavens and the earth, Gojo is the honored one. Purple, Toji's dead. You know, close curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, like thing at the end with Riko's body, right?
Sure.
How did we feel? All right, I I mentioned it earlier, but I have heard murmurs, whispers about people not being too pleased with Gege.
You mean Mappa?
With Mappa, yes. Sorry, that's a reflex. My bad.
Yeah. So I was just talking about that. I was wondering if people like what people's opinions on like the adaptation of that specific moment was. I think it was really good, to be honest. I understand if you're purely looking at like frame to like manga page comparison. Yeah, I think the manga page has like a better visual angle. I think like the super stylized clouds in the background is like an obvious tie to like certain like religious depictions of like Buddha or like whatever, blah blah blah, bunch of stuff, right? Like I think visually it just looks better. But I think when you combine how the fact that the visuals were not at all bad, they were just worse than the manga, right? But the fact that it has great voice acting to accompanying it, great lighting that I think adds to the scene a lot. And it had a really good, very appropriate OST accompanying everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. I think someone mentioned this in chat earlier, but I think they both completely took advantage of the mediums that they are in. So like if you like the manga more, that's fine. I think that's very indicative of your
Taste, yeah.
stance on like the on like the medium of manga, just sort of not pandering. Pandering kind of has a negative connotation. Sort of appealing to your taste a bit more. If you like the anime more, I think it's probably like you that voice acting, that OST, that lighting, those colors, everything like that adds to your experience more. I think they were both really good. I think they're both 10 out of 10 moments respectively for different reasons, but I think they both generally speaking achieve the same thing.
Mm-hmm. 100%, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it's the only thing because I would say I would even go as far as to say like I generally prefer the anime honored one's
Mhm.
moment. I didn't think that'd be a hot take
Yeah.
going into today, but there's one exception, and that's I prefer the composition of the honored one scene in the manga. I
Yeah.
like the clouds, Gojo's like positioning. I definitely think the framing was a lot better in the manga. I don't mind the head on shot, but I think for everything that wasn't the specific moment in line, it wasn't as like whoa as the manga was when you got to that page.
Yeah.
That being said,
Um
though, I did really
mhm.
fuck with the depiction of Manic Gojo. If you guys saw the thumbnail for this live stream, like that's come on, you gotta admit that's fucking cool.
I bet it is, I think. I'd imagine you cooked.
Oh my god,
Um
let me send it to you. You fuck. You
you
know,
go and do that, go and
yeah,
do that.
it's this
Um
image.
let me see.
I just thought like it really got the manic vibes of Gojo's entire moment.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think so too. I think so. Um, yeah, to me, I think Mappa did a really good job. I could see somebody thinking it's a bit more flat for sure.
Hmm.
I also think like we've had several years to sit with the moment and appreciate it for what it is. I
Yeah.
don't know if that plays a part into it at all. Um,
I
I wonder how
mean,
I feel like coming back to it a couple of weeks later, like revisiting that like specific moment, things like that. But yeah.
I would be so curious to hear what a JJK anime only probably feels about this scene. I imagine for
Hmm.
them it's just like pure hype, like with like
Yeah.
consistently might even hit a peak. Um, no, actually, I'll take it a step further. I think if you're like a non-manga reader, this is probably an 11 out of 10 scene, just on its own, right?
Mhm.
Like barring
Yeah.
because you have no expectations, right? Gojo coming back is like, whoa, what the fuck?
I mean, he kind of. I mean, you have to know he's alive. It's a
Yeah,
flashback, but
obviously,
yeah.
yeah, but like, and
Hmm.
more so like, oh, I didn't know he was going to be like this, right?
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
but generally, no, I thought
Yeah.
the moment really landed. Um, admittedly though, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. The hollow purple hit way harder than the honored one speech. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. They killed with the hollow purple animation.
I
Absolutely
think they
loved
did
it.
a really good job.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job. And then
Favorite.
tracking back from like the buildings that were destroyed
Yes.
into Toji, I was
Oh
like,
my god, bro.
oh, one moment I really want to talk about, dude. It's just a small, very small scene. Toji grabbing at like the gap, grabbing blood, and then looking at it like all disappointed. I was like, damn. If you didn't, just kill a kid moments before this, I'd truly, genuinely feel bad for you. I feel
Yeah.
bad for you in spite of knowing that you did that. Actually, Mappa kind of cooked, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Mappa
I
kind of
mean,
really made that shit sad. I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
you
fair
almost
enough.
forgot that like he stabbed another kid, through the neck and like torso a bunch.
Yeah.
Like I
Um.
it's always funny, but like Gojo is like actually 16. So like Toji doing everything he just did, prior to that moment, and still
mhm.
Gege, or I guess Mappa in this case, like figuring out a way to like squeeze some sympathy for him in there, really cannot be
Yeah.
understated. That's so neat.
Yeah. I mean, I think they did. I think they did a really good job. I think they did a really good job overall. I really like the episode, and I like the adaptation, of everything that we've seen so far. Um.
Dude, the
Yeah.
merging of red and blue, mm,
Oh, like with
delicious.
the droplets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. They did go crazy, and hot take. I know everybody's gonna be against me here. This hollow purple greater than season one hollow purple.
I think it's different. Nah,
Yeah.
I think this is better. I think the animation's just way better. The whole package is smoother. Plus this hollow purple means more in the story. So like yeah, I'm willing to call it.
Yeah. The first hollow purple of Gojo, well, of Satoru's, I guess would be the better way to put it. Um, yeah, yeah. I let's see. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this episode a lot. This
What'd you
all of
think of
hidden
the
inventory has been really good.
what'd you think of the post credit scene?
Post credits scene.
With Rico's body.
Yeah. I think it was good. I think it was really good. Um, I think that to me that gives me a lot of like hope for, even though there's not going to be very many small moments. Going forward, I do like that. Like to me, that just gives me hype. They're going to really nail premature death, like all of Ghetto's descent and stuff like that, because that like very small character moment. No bombastic animation, no crazy shit like that. They just really did a good job of capturing the ambiance of the scene, and I really liked it. To me, that was honestly, it's hard to say that's one of my favorite parts of the episode because of how many great parts were in the episode. But in most other episodes of anime, that would be like my favorite part of a 23 to 24 minute like stretch of anime. Like it is really good. I think Ghetto, like having Ghetto's eyes like shift and shake the entire time he's talking to Gojo, as you can tell he's like, he does not want to say any of the things he's saying, but he's like, he feels like he has to. Gojo's complete indifference towards those human lives. Like I liked everything around, to be honest. I
Same.
liked that.
Yeah.
I liked every aspect of it.
Um,
Yeah.
where do you? So I had this conversation about like sort of the ethics of that scene. Um,
Hmm.
do you like if you were in Gojo or Geto's position, and I do mean like one to one, right? Like same emotional states, for either participant. Like how are you? Like are you doing the same thing or are you changing anything?
Um, I
Basically,
mean,
like are you killing them? Right? Like you know.
if I'm Gojo, if I ask Ghetto for his opinion, he says no, then no.
Mm,
If I'm Ghetto, I don't know if I'm saying no though.
mm.
Um, I'm not sure because
Because
it's hard to say because like it's to me, killing them isn't the issue.
it's not. And for me, my answer was it doesn't. It's sort of similar to Ghetto's like thinking, although for me it would be a little bit more genuine in that like these guys, these people, um, killing them would not change anything because they are fundamentally, in a roundabout way, victims of the cult leader. They are, and I'm sad. It's so upsetting to think of it this way, but like they are just fully brainwashed into believing this doctrine, and everything about dying, the end of the world, Tengen's merger. For them, it's just sort of part of their religious scripture or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, they are. There's also this one.
They're not the
Yeah,
problem.
because I don't know if you caught
However,
it. The cult leader was just stated like he just fleed, like
yeah,
he
he
yeah
just
he's not
left.
yeah he's not there.
Everybody that knew about Jujutsu sorcerers
Yeah,
like dipped already.
yeah,
They were
and
long gone.
everybody whose death would have mattered in like justifying this or like settling up,
Hmm.
they just booked it.
Yeah, yeah. So I think so. One, I think killing them would have been a very understandable reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong,
100%,
just taking
yeah,
out your rage.
yeah.
But
But there was
I
not a
think
lot
to
of
me,
rage for Gojo's part.
yeah, for Gojo's for Ghetto, you could definitely tell like there's a lot of conflict there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing to speak of though is like what I was gonna say is you took it in the direction of these people are not entirely blameless, but they are less of the overarching issue, right? I was gonna take it in the sense of like telling Gojo that it is okay to kill people for no apparent reason, right, is the wrong answer, right?
Yes, especially as he is,
Like
yeah, like
yeah,
right in
as
there,
he is
yeah,
right now, it is a very formative like that to me that conversation is extremely formative, right?
yeah.
That and Geto's like not final conversation with Gojo, but like the last conversation they
Mm-hmm.
have in hidden inventory or whatever,
Yeah.
right? To me, those two are extremely formative moments of Gojo's ideology. And like, for as evil as Ghetto is, right? He came in clutch for not indulging in Gojo's like more negative traits in that particular aspect, right? Or in that particular moment. I think it's more like who care it's almost who cares about the morality of taking out those specific people. It's what are the ramifications of telling Gojo you can kill people like at your whim, right?
Yeah, I don't know if Ghetto was considering all of that. Like, sure, there was some, like, he picked up on Gojo's like physical difference, or he was like, "Yo, are you the same guy?" But I don't know if he fully
Mm-hmm.
like clocked how significant the change was. So
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that was his main priority, right? I think he was just doing it to sort of like try to stick to his lessons in the same way Gojo was just carrying out the mission, because it was the only thing he really knew how to do or what to do in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you're there, right, like you're in Getsu's place with sort of the foresight of knowing what happens next. It's like, yeah, no, bro, life is sacred. This sunshine is real nice. You know what I love? A populated world, man. Vengeance is not the answer. Cause like, bro, you know
Yeah.
how he gets as an adult. Like, nah, bro, I'm trying to don't teach this guy like the wrong lesson. You know what I mean?
I don't want to teach him like, listen, if someone bothers you, it's cool to just erase them at a moment's notice. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um,
And then
it's like, yeah,
bro, it's like when you see adult Gojo, you're like nothing. There's literally nothing.
yeah.
Like like if Gojo just like up and decided to become a villain at any point after hidden inventory or like even the main story, like literally nothing. Ghetto could still be on Jujutsu Tech's side if you wanted to like flip it and have Gojo be the one to like go evil or whatever.
Mhm.
The, Nothing. Like it's simply not happening.
Yeah. It doesn't end well. I'll tell you that for free. But yeah, I think Ghetto, like unknowingly or not, right, made an amazing decision there that probably saved the planet.
Uh huh.
Um, like in
It's
the long run. So yeah.
actually this is such a fun topic just to quickly like speculate on, just super duper quickly, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, if Gojo's the one that like goes down the Ghetto route, like if they switch paths, right?
Mhm.
Is there even like a reason to build a family and do the whole declaration, or do you think Gojo's just like pulling up and like knocking it out in like an afternoon?
In the time that he like in during the same time that Ghetto did, or
Whenever,
like that same time
like
frame,
the
everything.
the time frame Gojo wants to initiate is at his discretion, so you can have fun with that too.
Yeah, he's probably killing everybody like just whenever. I don't think he needs like
Help.
allies or anything.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Ghetto's allies, quote unquote, um don't contribute too much in the battle sense, right? In the like raw having strength sense, right?
Mm.
Um, it's sort of like those people are in support of his cause, right? But if Gojo's doing this because he has no cause, then he doesn't need people to stand by him. And I
True.
think he would become just very much like Sukuna, just like, yeah, I kill and I pillage and I do all this, right? But I also think Ghetto wouldn't, I mean, not Ghetto, Gojo in this scenario wouldn't have the I'm killing every non sorcerer. He's just sort of like, I do as I please type of thing,
Oh,
right? So maybe he does kill a lot of people, but like he doesn't have a goal of like I'm
like
going to
he's
intentionally systematically remove non sorcerers. It's
right, right,
eh,
right.
if a non sorcerer pisses me off, sure,
I'll do
I'll blow
whatever.
up a
Yeah.
country. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
he's like, yeah, let me
Yeah.
hollow purple estate real quick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Gojo's got a lot more mobility for his actions because like Jujutsu Tech doesn't have a Gojo to send after him, right? Because I think that's
Hmm.
why Ghetto was like feels weird to say he was on the run. He was not running. But like
Yeah. Bro
they
pulled up and said, "Hey, Shoko."
like I came to
Hi.
declare war. Come on, guys. Like
Mm,
so
yeah.
there's definitely a part of me that's like there's like a particular win con. I don't know if it's controversial, but I think like if they still found Yuta and this time it was like consensually like giving Rika over to Ghetto, maybe there might be something there, but depends
Yeah.
on how you feel about like zero power scaling.
Wait, can you run that back by me? Because I heard it, but I didn't register
Okay,
fully.
if you take the plot of JJK Zero, right? Just same
Mm-hmm.
timeline, whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you were to just have the only factor be that finding Yuta is now Ghetto's responsibility. And
Yeah.
Gojo's the one declaring war. It's like, hey, the strongest sorcerer is after us, but I think there's a way for us to
Mm-hmm.
like survive, and that's if you let me eat Rika, right? And he
Yeah.
like and Yuta like consensually gives Rika over to Ghetto, and he has like maybe the 10,000 curses. I think then we have
Yeah.
like
Then we have a fight.
yeah, we have a fight there. Yeah, yeah,
Then we got something. Um, because it's actually kind of strange the gassing that like Rika gets from
yeah,
Gojo and Ghetto. Like, I'll risk my life, and Ghetto, knowing
yeah.
how strong Gojo is like, if I have her, it's a 99% chance I win this
Insane,
war.
dude. It's
Hmm.
always bothered me because like I'm fully like I told you before, bro. But like I'll maintain this position like very firmly, and that is, I don't think Gege knew how strong Gojo was going to be until he started writing the mainline series. So I think in Zero he was just one of the strongest, not the like not Gojo. You know what I mean? Um,
Maybe.
because like a lot of the
Um,
dialogue then doesn't make sense, right? Unless you want to say Gojo's just sort of like fucking around, in which case I guess that's plausible. But
a
like
lot of the dialogue, like besides the Rika thing, what gets confusing,
I don't know, I'm not confused. It's just okay. So
or
the
what doesn't make sense, rather.
on it really is mostly the Rika dialogue, but also it's the fact that like the big explanation is that Gojo knew and was sort of manipulating. Not manipulating seems like so like mean, but like guiding Yuta to a particular
Hmm.
awakening, and that's why he
Hmm.
didn't interfere like more directly sooner. But like, bro, if you saw
Hmm.
the fight with Miguel, he was in a hurry.
I mean, kind of. I don't know. Yeah, yeah,
There's wiggle room. That's all I'm trying to say.
for
Um,
sure.
Also, Sleeping
Um,
Danger, thank you for the 35. What's the strength difference between Awakened Gojo and Adult Gojo? Because it doesn't feel massive. The biggest
it's a
one.
difference between unawake. I'll say I'll go on a hot take real quick
Mm,
because I think the difference is just as big between unawakened and awakened Gojo. Like there is a significant difference. There's a domain difference,
yeah,
right?
not only is
To
there a
put it like
domain
that.
difference, there's a control difference, right? Because Gojo takes like months just to learn how to separate specific items by like volume, chemical composition, mass. Like he's really on a different level of control even 3 4 months after this awakening, let alone like not to mention 10 years, especially if you want to get into like modern manga Gojo. Like I'd say he's actually
Hmm.
like maybe hot takes stronger than he is like when we first saw him in season 1. Like he's just learned a lot more. Like he's
Yeah,
he's
I'd say
gotten more
so.
creative with his jujutsu.
I'd say so for sure. I mean, yeah, like adult Gojo would no diff awaken Gojo, right?
Mhm.
He's like just opening a domain, bodying him, just because here's the thing too. Awakened Gojo still has like the stamina issue, not the stamina issue, because being able to keep up your curse technique for 3 days is not a
Yeah,
stamina problem, but it's more so that like Gojo after a year of training, right? He's
he's fine.
constantly using
Yeah,
RCT on his brain. He's spawning multiple blue points in like red. He's mastering long distance teleportation and a domain. Like there is a very significant difference between like even just Gojo a year after his awakening and immediately after his awakening. Yeah.
Gojo
Yeah.
Gojo scaling is fun.
Gojo scaling is whatever.
Oh,
Um,
you know, this is sort of off topic, and it'll be the last thing we close out on. Because real quick,
hmm,
what do you give this episode? I give it just a straight 10.
this is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This was a banger.
Yeah. Okay, so I made this video on TikTok a couple days ago that basically said Gojo's just really annoying to scale in versus battles because you can't really get rid of the infinity through verse equalization. So, for example, like spiritual pressure in Bleach, it's just something you'd have to get rid of for the fight to happen because otherwise, like the other character doesn't have it, they just die, right? So it's
Mm,
a way to like preserve the integrity of the fight, right? And so I said with Gojo, you can't really do that with Infinity because that's like a core part of his power system. So the person who he's getting paired with needs to find a way to get rid of it or get around it, right? But
mm,
because they don't operate under the same power system, right? Like they can't use cursed energy, then they fundamentally
mm,
don't like it's going to be much harder unless they're reality warpers or something crazy like that, right?
mm,
The issue arises um, because the people who can get past Infinity are too strong for Gojo once they get past it, right? Like they basically just one shot him, right? Like the Scarlet Witches, the Reality Warpers, like people like characters like that, right?
yeah.
But then you have characters who can like sort of compete with him on a similar level of like hand to hand thinking, strategy, arsenal, but they just fundamentally cannot get past his infinity to do any of that damage, right? So he either outright
Yeah.
wins by like abusing that like inequality, or, and this is the most common option, the end result for a lot of these versus battles to like reasonable versus battles, we'll call them, is that it always ends in a
Mm,
perfect draw. That was the take. There was
yeah.
a comment under that TikTok that, no joke, got 300 replies.
Damn.
Bro, I'm never doing a power scaling video again.
I it's rough.
I just
It's rough for you,
I
buddy.
don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I thought it was a pretty like milk toast take. Um, maybe I just stirred up like I pressed some kind of button or I touched a chord. Just trying to feel out the room, right? Trying to get a consensus here.
Um, I mean, I agree. Like, here's the thing: JJK scaling is bad, right? Gojo's
Mm-hmm.
not very strong. He has a very broken like technique or two.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite Void is strong, and Infinity is strong,
Yeah.
right? There are you when looking at like mainstream shonen, there are more characters than not that would otherwise blitz and one shot Gojo
Mm-hmm.
that cannot do so because of the Infinity, and it does end in like Gojo could hit them till the end of time, right? And it would just you just never
Mm-hmm.
die, whatever, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I agree. Gojo's a very hacks character, and it kind of is what it is, right? If you like, Gojo becomes very very useful to use in battles if you like equal stats. Like you do the thing where it's like, yeah, how do their hacks and like character play a part into the fight? Blah 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 blah. Right? And it's like, yeah, cool. And then you get something a little interesting, depending on which character you use. But yeah, most characters that can, at least most characters I'm aware of, like off the top of my head, they can get past Gojo's Infinity are also significantly stronger than him, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Just wanted to kind of feel the room, and I'm going through chat, and I think, yeah, I think we're all about the same page. All right. And I don't know who asked me. What was the comment? King KT. I literally don't remember. I was so shocked by the number of replies that I completely forgot what the comment was talking about. I think somebody, if I had to like really remember, try to remember, it was something like, "Can't you just like break past the infinity with speed?" or some comment like that. Um, it's funny. There was like 4 or 5 other comments that also got double-digit replies, and I think the second one was like 50 or 60 replies. I, I,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. Again, it's such a,
Yeah.
like, I didn't even really take a hard stand. Like, I literally said it just, most of the time, it just ends with a stalemate.
Yeah. Which a lot of times it does. Yeah. I mean, like to TikTok commenters question, like, yeah, you can, but you have to be like, to have that level of speed. You have it delves into the characters that are, yeah, you can get past the infinity, but it's also not a fun matchup, right?
Yeah, right.
Like it's like,
Oh yeah, the Flash taps
like
into the Speed Force like all the way and just absolutely
eh,
demolishes. Like, yes, duh, right?
yeah, it's like cool. Yeah, U-Haul like fucking breaks Gojo's brain in the future or something, right?
Hmm.
So he just never has his curse technique. Cool, but
Yeah,
like, why is that
I'm
fun?
exactly
It's like yeah,
oh,
wow.
can
I was really wondering. I was really wondering how you Gojo went.
can Gojo beat the one true God?
It's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's certainly. I mean, I generally agree. I agree. Um, you can probably find characters that are like equally hacked, but like also kind of garbage in terms of scaling. But
Yeah.
they're then you get into those like light novels, like Remember the Time I Was a Refrigerator Back in My Apartment, or like That Time I Got Reincarnated into a Slime. You start getting into like the backwater isekai,
Dude,
like
those abilities are
shit
just
nobody's really
actually
heard
broken.
of.
I don't know if any of
Yeah.
you guys care, but like the end of Slime, like the real end, like of the light novel, even just basically ends with him taking over as the new god of his universe, and it's like it's so. Sorry, it's not end. It's not over yet, right? So that's just currently where he's at right now in the light novel, right?
Yes, I can't wait for him to ascend.
Yeah, right. And the problem that I have, right, is like when we start asking ourselves, can Gojo beat Rimuru from the time I got reincarnated as a slime? Who like who's are we doing ourselves any favors? Are we doing the characters any favors? Like you, Gege would probably do a matchup like that just to see Gojo die, right? But like,
Mm.
you know, again, he has no soul. So is that really the guy we're comparing ourselves to here, chat? Let's try to be better.
I mean, yeah, Gojo is very annoying. I agree.
Anyway, thanks for hearing me out, guys. Appreciate it. Overall,
Yeah.
great episode. I definitely think it was worth the hype. I really love the purple. Cannot emphasize that enough.
Yes,
Um,
sir. They cooked. What can I say?
Absolutely. They cooked a whole feast. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in, tuning in. If you haven't voted already on the poll, please do so now. If you're watching the VOD and you'd like to vote in on the poll, I think it'll probably end by Sunday when we do the manga episode. So you have like this episode goes live on Saturday for everybody else. So you have like a good amount of time if you want to try to steal or cause any upsets in the polls by becoming a true honored one. But thanks
Mm.
to everybody who came out to stream. Appreciate all of you. Um, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Thank you
Did I
guys.
miss
We'll see you
anything?
guys on Sunday. And then we'll keep going as we regularly scheduled. Fun JJK chapter. Look forward to talking about it on Sunday with you guys.
Check out the fast food tier list we did last week if you want even more honored ones.
Hmm.
Because BR and I cooked.
We did indeed.
Big ol' smirk on my face because fast food, you see.
Mm. Yeah, I get it. I totally. I mean, yeah, genius play there, genius play.
Thank
But
you.
yeah.
I am a hero.
Hmm.
All right. Thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate you. Bye bye. Wait,
Peace.
wait. There's actually 10 more seconds until it gets to 1 minute and 1 hour and 30 minutes. So